Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay,
B.
how's it going?
I'm on fire, buddy.
I want to welcome everyone to the work-related podcast.
We're related by work on
X.
Twitter. Yep.
On X.
Fucking X and Twitter. So before I even get to the boss of fucking Twitter when he was on this Rogan show,
Yeah.
My favorite thing about him, I don't know if I said it on the show or to you, was Bill Burr's takedown of him, which was fucking hilarious. And every time when he was, Rogan and him were talking about his critics, I just kept thinking about his good buddy Bill Burr and like what conversation they might be able to have and how convincing, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like just having another side, you know, like of a fucking the bro party that I heard. But all of that shit aside, I actually want to share some good news I saw on Twitter this week, which was a rover landing on the moon.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know anything like this was happening. I don't think it's world fucking beating news. I don't know. It's kind of cool. And yeah, out of nowhere, I seen a rover landing on the moon, and I was surprised you didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about it.
It's funny. One of the first things I go when I see the thing in the comments, it was just like the detractors are going like, "This is fake because." It's like 3 comments in or whatever, right? Like this is fake because. Where's all that moon dust going? Like, I don't, you know how they can have a selfie of rovers landing and shit, and you see like the shadow of it coming down, and other people are explaining like, no, the dust is like dispersing. There is nothing landing. Like you can see this is why it's on the moon with no gravity and all this kind of stuff. So I'm believing it full-heartedly that it's on the. Am I an idiot for believing that this is a real thing on the moon?
Why not? We've landed rovers on the moon before.
Apparently, like I don't know, right?
Yeah, true.
Like I want to believe. Is that the problem? Like I want to believe all the good news. But
I mean, we have a rover on Mars. Do you believe that?
I do. I did.
So,
I mean, I do.
Yeah, we gotta believe the moon.
I don't know if Nate comes from work and tells me his side of the story, and then all of a sudden I just think I'm on the Truman Show or something.
He probably doesn't believe it at all.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to expose. I don't know. I kind of like having those kind of conversations. Like I don't know. Like my my instincts tell me to just run. Right? Like this person is toxic. They don't believe what you believe. Like you're going to get into a long conversation with somebody about something, but I don't like that side of me all the time.
Yeah.
Like I want to like open up or whatever, right? Like or give somebody their time and space to talk. Doing this show when I talk to somebody like Nate, like doing like is and I have to learn it even with you. Is to let the other person talk, like listen more, right, and find out what their point of view is and how convincing it can be. Right? Like, should I wear my watch to go to sleep? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just saying within a conversation.
Okay. Well, speaking of Twitter, I mean, I see you're wearing your watch today.
Yeah, I am. What's that to do with Twitter?
Did you wear it all week?
I want to talk about this rover on the moon.
Fine. The rover.
So I just again, I'll get buzzed up. That it's like, why are we landing a rover on the moon? Like with this, all of our world's problems, what the fuck is a rover doing on the moon?
Yes.
And then I was actually kind of facetious there. I mean, we got to do it. I like doing these kind of things. I don't know. It's not my money, so whatever. I just like it for the pics.
It's not even the government's money.
Gram. So that's what I was about to say. You only know that because I just told you. It's the first private rover on the moon.
That's what makes it even more crazy.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, oh, so I kind of just did a quick little quick dive and seen that it's some company in Colorado that figured this out. So I don't know what the end game is. I think this is just the beginning of like I don't know. It's like, so, you know, instead of fucking Neil Armstrong, apparently like putting the American flag on the moon and calling it the Gulf of America or whatever you can do once you land there, is this now their moon? Like I know China's got apparently had a rover or 2 on the moon. I don't know. Like, have you heard?
I know a lot of countries have landed some sort of spacecraft on the moon. Spacecraft. That's not necessarily people.
No, I don't think no more people, right? Like at one time, but like, I mean, so I'm curious what the end game is, but like, no, there is no ownership of the moon.
I would say it'd probably be for. See, it's hard to say the end game because I was gonna say like resources and research, but NASA's already done that, and if anybody was gonna pillage the moon when they first landed on it would have been the American government.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they're searching for something. Maybe they're practicing their capabilities because now that there's a lot of privatized space companies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at least 2. That's mainstream. maybe there's just going to be a lot more. Maybe space is just going to be the next privatized frontier.
I love the thought of like capturing asteroids.
Yeah.
Right? Like in like some kind of
Mining
net.
asteroids.
What?
Mining
Yeah, like
asteroids.
that. Those like I don't know how futuristic those thoughts are. Like I know ever since The Expanse, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it seems like it's
Oh,
right around
yeah.
the corner, right?
Yeah,
But it's like that's a cool thought. I think of it as the same as like Exxon or like or gold miners or you know what I mean? Like mining on Earth. I find it the same. Like it's not I should buy stock in these companies. Like if
Yeah.
anything, it's not like you know what I mean? Like the non-environmentalist in me like doesn't know the consequences of just decimating the earth for all these like things. It's easy for me to say because like I said, even with the oil pipes, I'm like it's not my native land. It's not all these like I see it in a way of good for national security. But if it's a private company doing it, right? Like that's just them. Like that's just them building a good product in a way, right? Like they're
for
mining
sure.
and they're making it. It's where it gets to a weird thing like the value of diamonds. It's not because of is it because of they're rare or is it because the De Beers company owns them and they decide it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where it's not their true value doesn't get going, right?
Yeah.
Like so that's just my rabbit hole thinking of mining in general, but just the technology of going to the moon and like the end game is just a curiosity. Like
That's an expensive curiosity.
so it can't just be for nothing.
Yeah, they got to have something down the pipeline.
So
How did they justify that to investors to say that we're going to put a rover on the moon? Okay, yeah, but why? How are we going to get our money back?
Yeah, I need to. I don't have the answers. Maybe I'll look more into it because I just saw this shit like the other day and knew I wanted to maybe bring it up. So I was like curious on who is this private company that did it. And we talked about the government last time. Like I don't know if the government should be run like a business for profit and all this. I mean, this is way more of a. So I don't know. Is space exploration a government job?
No.
Is it more of a privateer's job or a government job?
Government job, a privateer's job.
Then it's all based on the. Then we the people will never get there again.
Not unless it's like tourism.
Like yeah,
type
but
of
that's then,
stuff.
then we're just on there. You know what I mean? Like that's. I don't know the good or the bad of it. I'm just saying like that. I think that just automatically. It maybe for progress it's all good. I know, but I just think it stays in tighter hands. Like we really
If it's
won't
in
know
the
what's going on.
Oh, if it's private.
It's all private information,
Yeah.
passed around with private people.
For sure, but that's how also we get more progress because
Yeah,
the
I agree.
government's so limited
I agree.
and they have to justify their money.
I agree. I think it's too much money to spend on something by the people.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
all the tax cuts and all that thing, it is a harder thing to justify.
Absolutely.
Right? I do kind of understand that. I don't know how you regulate and all that kind of things. Those are overthoughts I think of when I think of these things and end games and what it will like lead to.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird to me again with us going to Mars and like trying to like re-up it and do all these things or do whatever. Just saying it is a great thought, but I just don't know. I don't know if that's like a realistic goal. Like I don't know. Like you know what I mean? Like if that's really going to advance us further. Like it just seems such an elite thing to be able to do. Like it takes the elite of what we think elite gets to do here
Yeah.
and just be like, yeah, that's a real 1%er problem on my legacy carrying on. And like, I want to make sure I can build a Trump Tower on the moon, on Mars one day. You know what I mean? Like it's such a bizarre thought. Like I just don't, other than the curiosity on what's going on Mars.
Well, preservation of civilization, that's a big one.
Yeah, but then there's the lack of concentration on just keeping this thing going.
I know, right?
That's what I get. Like I just don't like. It's the ultimate throwing the baby out with the bathwater comment. Like it's just like, but this is where I get it. It's like okay, go ahead privately, go do whatever you want, but I just don't like understand it for whatever. And then now private companies are learning like this rocket technology that can be used as weapons in like on this precious earth that we have.
Yeah.
So I just
All the more reason we need to go to Mars.
for what? Because
Digging
we're going to blow this
ditches.
one up.
Digging ditches. Yeah. That's a throwback if people don't
Yeah,
know.
digging ditches on Mars. That's what Brian wants to dedicate his life to.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
like for nobody else caring at all.
That's what you think, but
What?
they didn't think about that when they first discovered the United States. Like this guy's going on a ship for months and he might not ever make it back. And then they discovered the United States and now look.
Okay, then the first thing I think about there, that's the ultimate example of the elites getting what they want. Because we, the people that were here, not me, speaking of we, the people that were here, it's already been discovered. Like you with your fancy, you know what I mean? Like guns and war, like they just it was a genocide.
Well, there won't be a genocide on Mars because ain't nothing there.
Yeah, so then they get to the make it in their. It'll be the ultimate like Stepford Wives thing. It'll be the ultimate. You know what I mean? Like, was the first token black going to be allowed to fucking like Mars? That's
Yes,
you?
I want to be me. What the hell?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get. Like, I just don't know. Yeah. Like I.
We don't know until we go, and you have to go
But
to
I'm saying
know.
like the discovery of America and then where we are, like how we are living now, and all that kind of stuff. It was just when the most powerful one discovered America. Like, nobody forget when the Vikings discovered it first.
Yeah.
And then maybe the Chinese actually were here before them. And they just didn't like decimate the whole land. They just, you know what I mean? Like did shit up and down the coasts.
Yeah.
Like I've seen evidence of older
sure.
relics of something that could have happened.
So I wouldn't say the more powerful ones, the ones who are just willing to do more.
No, they were the greediest.
Yes.
That's
yes,
the greediest.
that.
Yeah. Be damned the consequences of you just get to call them the enemy. Like the fucking Redskins and the fucking, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is. They
And
just
name
get
a
to go
baseball
to
team
other continents and just fucking pillage whatever they want there for their own gain.
But doing Mars would be more noble because there would be none of that. It would be all purely for
Progress.
Yes.
With nobody getting trampled on.
Yes, that we know of.
Other than the resources not going to. Okay, so I can take that out of the way. But then you're right. That's right. I'm just saying then, okay, I don't want to hero worship the one who's decided or had the ability to do it first. Like hero worshiping Columbus didn't turn out so good when you start to think about how was he really a good guy?
Would you want to be hero worshipped?
I think
Jay,
people do.
the first one, no, personally, Jay, the first one to go to Mars and was the first one to govern the new city of Mars or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, I don't aspire to that kind of like that's not one of my aspirations.
Yeah.
Hey, it's hard to turn it down.
Yeah.
like if you're offering it, like I grew up in a town called Streetsville, named after Timothy Street.
Yeah.
like it's still called Streetsville. Like nobody's deep dived into the problematic things of Timothy Street and what he might have thought of in 2025 standards.
Yeah.
like Dundas Square can't be called Dundas Square for whatever that Dundas guy did.
Yeah.
like it's a problematic thing. We should name things after horses and fucking birds instead of people, right? Like
That's
it's not.
fair.
It's just
I
because
agree.
they got here. Like the Cook Islands. You know what I mean? Like he discovered what he put his fucking ship on every island from here to England, but he wasn't that great of a guy. You know, like he was to him and his family, and he's got shit named after him. But you know what I mean? Like you speak to the original fucking Hawaiians and everybody else on the islands that he landed on, and it's just like nothing but exploitation.
Yeah.
For the king and queen back home.
Yeah.
And yes, they got to tell us how great the progress was. They got to see, oh, look at all this pepper and spice we can put on our fucking eggs and chips now. You know what I mean? Because we got this place from India. Oh, Indians. So everybody outside this town is an Indian now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks, Timothy Street. Whatever
Oh,
you say,
God.
because you got there first.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is, like, I don't trust the guy who gets there first and says, yeah, there's nothing here. And then sees like a little fucking ant and then steps on the ant. No, there's nothing to see here.
Nothing here. It's like a whole city of little people.
Yeah,
like,
no.
6
Like,
inches tall.
That's right. Like, he was like, fucking, now I'm the world dominator.
Oh, man.
Right? And if it's a private, I guess my naivete is just like, or in this conversation is saying like, the idea if it's of a government for the people doing this for us, they would never not tell us about the little people.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're here to explore everything, but it's all been fucked up now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't really, you know what I mean? Like you could turn the story on anything for anybody, right? Or whatever. Right? And that's why I don't mind like talk to a guy like Nate and say, I want to know his side and not be frustrated with what he doesn't agree with me on.
Yeah.
Right? But I also don't want to be like with our elections coming. I want to understand why Tammy wants to vote the way she wants to vote. And I love rooting for the little guy, and like even just something like the Green Party. Like the only reason I shouldn't vote for the Green Party is because it's not making a consequence in the top two fucking parties. But I want to think as if I am in the Green Party, I want to know that my message is actually reaching out to more people.
That's
and I want to encourage them.
That's a good point.
And one day, you know what I mean? Like they will get there. It's worse to rally against the two-party system and then not understand why somebody wants to vote for the third or fourth or fifth party, right? Like I want to give them as much voice as like they're willing to do for me. And if I like their things, like it's very hard because I'm not deep diving into all the issues. I just like find, you know what I mean? Like I was telling before, I don't mind the pendulum swinging like this way and that way and going, but when it's turning into a wrecking ball, I don't know if I want to be a part of the wrecking ball swinging back every 4 or 5 years. And I don't, obviously I don't think my voice is that important, but you shouldn't think that way.
No, you shouldn't.
And so that's why if I like the vote, I want to vote for it.
Okay.
I don't want to stand up for the NDP and all the things they do, but if I like if their leader's more charismatic to me, or if I think the power of the people has gone too much, and this guy who we could just argue is nothing but taxes and like pipe dreaming, and how do you think the real world's going to work? It's just like don't knock the idea so much.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Because of my opinion.
Yeah.
And you just think it's like not practical. So I like kind of thinking of it like that. Like I do, like, well, I don't want to get. We can go back and forth to the tariffs and other shit like that. But like even listening to you about the sleep thing.
Yes.
I did wear. I wore it for the whole week.
What?
Yeah, like I'll pull. I don't know what you want to know about wearing it. It wasn't as uncomfortable as I thought it was going to be. It is weird. You know what I mean? Like sleeping with my watch on when I didn't before. But like I don't know what you want to know.
I want to know the average hours you sleep.
Okay, so my average hours. My average hours is like 5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, my average hours is 6 hours, and it's because. Sorry, man. I'm trying to do both things here. So when I first wore it on for Saturday night. So do you do it for yourself?
Yeah.
I didn't log in my sleep. I just wore it and went to bed.
Yeah.
And have it decide when I'm gonna. You know what I mean? Like. I don't know even how I'm a little sus on how it decides you're sleeping or not.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't know. I don't think it can stop and start my heart. I just think it can tell whatever my heart is. I can tell. I don't even know how it knows my breathing through my pulse.
It depends on the watch it is, but it does have oxygen sensors in there. So it senses through your vein, and it does skin temperature. So it combines those with your breathing and your heart rate, and then determines if you're sleeping or not.
So you're tracking yours with your Fitbit app as well, right? Like so
Yeah.
you'll have the same kind of chart and score average. Like you'll have your stats won't be the same stats, but you'll have the same.
No,
like,
it's the same stats.
It looks like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a Fitbit. My watch is a Fitbit.
Yeah. Okay. So it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Like I have fucking great sleep on the weekend,
Yeah.
and then I have lack of sleep in the middle of the week.
Absolutely.
Like
Do you get? Does it show like? Do you get deeper sleep? Like when you wake up tired or not tired, is it because you slept deeper longer? Or is it because you are in? Was it REM?
Yeah.
Light and deep.
So I've noticed that I found, again, I don't know how to do anything about this. I found that most of my REM sleep comes right before I have to wake up. Right? Like,
Yeah.
like guaranteed, like my little bit of REM sleep, like Wednesday, all my 24 minutes of REM sleep were the last 24 minutes of my sleeping. I had a lot of light sleep. I sleep lighter during the week than I do on the weekend. Like
Okay.
last night, like I've woken up. Last night was fantastic. Like I looked at my chart from last night,
Yeah.
and I had it has me sleeping from 10 after 12, and I woke up at 10:30, like
Jeez.
10:36. So I had like 9.2 hours sleep.
That's
I got an
great.
85 score. I had like
Holy.
an hour and 58 minutes of REM sleep.
85 is high.
Yeah, that was today. Yesterday, they didn't even give me a score yesterday. I had 3 hours and 20 minutes of sleep. None of it light or dark, all just like asleep.
Yeah.
They didn't give me that fucking thing. It broke it down into 2 sections. So I actually had like 4 hours of sleep. Wednesday, this is my average kind of thing. It's 4.2 hours with 24 minutes of REM, and it was a 52. Tuesday was a 61 with 4 hours of sleep. Like I know, like this is I wouldn't have been able to tell you the exact numbers. Like 66 on Monday. Again, like Saturday night, like 76 hours or 76 score.
That's
so.
good.
What's your average score?
I get like, let's see.
Like, do you also log your sleep, or do you just let the thing figure out when you
I
sleep?
just let it figure out. I'm not doing all that login stuff.
So it's more interesting.
About 5 hours over the week. It says 5 hours average. On a month, same thing, 5 hours. So it's all the same. 5.5 hours is what I get.
Yeah,
on
my average is
average.
5.
And then I typically have like around 60 sleep score most of the time.
So I don't know if that's good. So yeah, that's probably close to
I
mine.
don't know. I don't know if it's okay.
So you don't do anything with this information.
Not really. More for knowledge. More for just knowing. You know what I mean?
Kind of like I guess no, it is more interesting in knowing, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to do with the information. Like it's the same thing I knew before. Like go to bed earlier to get more sleep.
But that's not necessarily true because you could go to bed early and sit there with your eyes open and then fall asleep at 12.
Yeah, and then you. True, but then you're just training your body to go to sleep at a different time.
And you sleep better after you've drank. So how have you been drinking these past few weekends?
Like I'm fucking not. I'm drinking as least amount as I've ever drank in my whole life. Last night I had one margarita, one shot with like almost like 2 cups of like, you know what I mean, like very big drink. A one shot with almost 2 cups of cranberry juice and all the ice.
Yeah.
That was the only alcohol I had last night. Smoked 2 joints of really not super high THC. Just got like and I had 100 milligrams of an edible. And I fucking went to bed after like last night was as perfect as a night. But like and so that was last night. I've only been trying to drink 3 drinks tops every weekend day. I either have 1 margarita and 2 beers. So for the last 2 weeks, I've only drank a 6-pack of beer for the whole weekend, including the one I have today. So today, I might have 2 margaritas and 1 more beer.
So now we're getting to a drinking conversation. Do you drink it like all like say you go to bed around 12, you say?
Yeah, 12:30.
So do you drink it all like in a few hours before you go to sleep, or do you drink it like throughout the day type of a thing?
Okay, I'll give you exactly the breakdown. Like this is almost so. When it comes to Thursday night, I don't know how you want to include it. So Thursday night, I used to treat that as my weekend. Like I'm on I don't want to bore the people even more with my whole health kick thing, but since I've got some momentum going, I don't want to just ruin it all on the weekend. I don't have a cheat day. I usually have a cheat weekend, and I won't drink during the week, but I'll drink during the weekend. And so I've slowly lowered those numbers down to having 1 drink on the Thursday, and I will have 3 drinks today. And so I won't drink. Well, see, today's different. I've already started drinking. Right, like I've had this. I'll go do some errands, and I'll be home by 5-ish, and I'll have 3 drinks from 5 to go to bed. Like that's long stretch.
Okay.
I'll try to throw some water in there. So that's not cramming it in, but every drink I have will have alcohol in it. From maybe try to throw water in there or something like that. Like I said, either 2 light beers and a margarita or 2 margaritas and a beer. Saturday, I'll do whatever chores. I will go as long as possible without eating or drinking because once the floodgates open, it's hard for me to stop.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's no other reason than my lack of willpower and not wanting. So if I won't take my edible or start drinking. So I won't drink until 5.
Oh man.
On Saturday.
On Saturday?
And then I will probably like have 2 beers, 1 margarita, tops 2 margaritas, 2 beers from 5 till 12:30.
And this is
Actually, I stop drinking at about an hour before I go to upstairs. So, or whatever. So 5 to 12, just say. And do
this
that.
is as of late.
Yeah, like before, I would probably throw at least a couple more drinks in there. When I didn't care at all about my weight, whatever. Like I was having 7 beers a night. Like you know what I mean?
That's
Like
what I'm talking
when I
about.
started getting when I started putting margaritas in the mix with the cranberry juice, like that was all I was more health conscious then. So I was conscious of what I was putting in my body then. When I lack of conscious of putting in my body, it's got to be where I am now. Is the in my wallet and in my body. I couldn't tell you what I never had a problem sleeping. To me, with my alcohol intake.
Yeah.
Where it comes in maybe is Monday morning.
Yes.
because I will drink Sunday, and I will try not to be as fucked up as I used to be, just to make my Mondays not as bad.
Yeah.
But like I've said for my whole life, it's hard for me to go to bed. Once I go to bed at like 12:31 on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, it's hard for me to go to bed any earlier than fucking 12 on Sunday night. And so, yeah, like I sleep good for that time. Like that. So that's the only time alcohol is brought into my day for sleeping. Like same thing with Sunday. I'll try to wait till like 4 or 5 to start drinking.
Yeah.
And then I'll drink till, like I said, like 3, 4 drinks for the rest of the night. And then when I'm during the week, like I'm so fucking tired from work and exercising that by the time I go to bed, I'm exhausted. Like I just fucking lie in bed, and every now and then my mind like wanders for a little bit. And sometimes I'm surprised it actually says it doesn't count my sleep till like 12:39 when I know I was in bed by like 11:15 or 20 after 11. And I don't think I was lying there for an hour. I'm pretty sure I wasn't, but it just doesn't mark me for that kind of long. And then each time, like I said, and then I'm just getting up every morning is always sucks for me.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Even if you went to bed at 8.
Even if I go to bed at 8. I get over it quicker. I probably get over it quicker the longer I've drank less. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I had to say the last like 3, 4 weeks, or what, I can't even go back to like the beginning of January when I started to eat and drink better, how it affected my wakeness. But yeah, like I've gotten over it so much more now that I think I don't know how much it correlates to the weather, because now I don't really have to worry about it snowing in the morning and shoveling snow.
Gosh, Jay, you did it now.
So just shit like that, right? Like I don't like my mornings. I aren't as busy as they are in the middle of the winter. Like it's not as depressing. Like it's lighter out now. Like I love the fucking the daylight and the daytime, like the morning and the late. Like
Times are changing this Sunday.
and so I thought we don't do that anymore.
No, we're still
I
waiting
thought
for
what's
New
fucking
York.
another broken promise from Trump,
Right?
And
Fucking
so
guy.
so yeah, like that's how I figure it. But I do say I'm more ready to go in the morning, and I've actually just tried to attribute that to not trying to be a sucky attitude about it. Like just not say, "Whoa, it's always me." Like
Positive thinking.
yeah, I was trying to even talk to you about it in a way why I considered, or I didn't consider. I actually told them I would start working some Saturdays. A whole bunch of different reasons, but one of them is that like if I just get over that 10-minute, 15-minute period of having to get my ass out of bed, put my fucking clothes on, you know what I mean, like getting ready, which
You don't
everybody
think
does.
Fridays would be better?
What, working on a Friday instead of a Saturday?
Fridays would be immediate.
Yeah,
Saturdays, you'd have to wait for it to open up.
I'm fine with waiting. I'm not, the thing about the working Saturdays and shit is like that is like I want my time for me. Like I get it, I need the money to do more things for me and all these things and whatever Saturday comes with it. But I don't want to open up Fridays one fucking bit. Like I have to wait till that
You
time
like
comes.
Fridays better than Saturdays?
Well, because I need that break off. Like for what I do, like for and I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
always me working for like 11 and a half hours each day, and then working out for 45 minutes, and like having my only downtime at home is, and I'm not trying to whine. I'm just saying like this out is from like fucking 8 o'clock until 11 when I go to bed. So 2.5 hours I get to fucking chill. And it's not enough. I can handle it all during the week. By the time I get to Thursday, that lack of leisure time is really like weighing on me. Like it sucks. The only thing that I do about that is I got all these other days to do whatever I want.
Yeah, but is that because it's become a habit now to have Friday your leisure time? Because you were working 5 days. Were you thinking about, on Thursday, were you already thinking you were over it?
Because the reason why I started in the first place is I hated trying to do everything not work related between Friday night and Saturday. And you can add Sunday there. Like if all I had to do, because I'm going to be just as tired on Friday, like working 5 days, getting up again on that third Friday morning and just doing it all over again, still feels the same as I was working 11, 12 hours a day or 8 or 10 hours a day or 9 hours a day. And so my thought is, it's like, oh, I'm just going to save all that up and have that extra day. And it's worked out fantastic. Sometimes like I just like pinch myself like, tonight, after I get all my other shit done and I'm buzzed sitting in the chair, I was just like, oh yeah, it's only Friday. Like, you know how fucking glorious that thought is?
Absolutely.
Like, I know you do. Like, I don't want
love
that positive feeling is way, like, I wouldn't get that working on a Friday.
Yeah.
And now I want to, so part is it is working for me to get some money. Part of it is doing better in my taking care of myself, and part of that is maybe adding in some more exercises. Like I've gone, like it just slowly gone from 30 minutes to a half hour. Slowly, I do more shit on the bike and whatever. And so part of it is adding another day. I do 3 days, and I should do whatever. I should do every day type of thing. But when am I going to add that 4th day in? At my best, it would be before I come here. At my best, it would even Saturday morning, right? And just like other things. And I'm like, okay, that'd be good. I go, but I get so much stats from working. Like, it's not the same. Working isn't like working out.
Yeah.
But if I go to work, if I don't work out and just do what my weekend, my days are way less. If I worked for one of those, if I worked out for one of those days, it would be a positive effect. But if I also worked for one of those days, not even counting the money, I would have a lot of physical benefits of it.
For sure.
And the again, I got no kids. The benefit of me getting up early to work on a Saturday morning would be that
Coming to Sire's basketball games.
that would be Sunday. That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
That's not. No, I was missing that because I'm lazy, not because of anything else. Like that's just truly on me being lazy. Cammy was actually all raring to go, and I was just like, fuck that kid. Not mine.
He's probably not even doing good anyways today.
I can see the highlights on the fucking Sports Center. And so no, you know what I mean? Like I do. There is no real reason that I haven't gone yet, other than it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's a packed gym full of fucking kids. Like whatever. I have missed that.
It is
legit.
a packed gym.
And so, but I don't have to worry about the sun taking fucking Selena's umbrella to fucking save my pasty white skin.
That is true.
And so, but there's lots of way more positive. But no, the other thing Saturday is I can get up and do it. This is what I didn't mind about Saturdays. Once you do it, it's fine. It's an easy work day, right? Like, and I don't know what their schedule. I'm only doing it if I'm leaving at 12. If they say to me something stupid like you have to work from this to 2, I'd be like, okay, that's not for me. And if they don't want my hours that I'm willing to give them, then that's fine. So let's just hold that aside for a second. Then I can leave there at 12 and still do whatever minimal chores I have left on a Saturday because I did them all Friday.
Yeah.
And I can have a fucking nap at 2 or 3 in the afternoon if I want. And then I'm fucking free and clear. And never mind the money, I've worked out for an extra day. Like my stats will be, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like will be
sure.
like working out. And so I will get that benefits of that. And I will also get a couple extra bucks. And I will look like I'm a fucking champ. You know what I mean? Like I'll give them some, it won't all be take on time from them. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, I'm not saying I'll look like a hero, but it'll be noticed in a positive way for me coming in on Saturdays.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I thought of it like that. I think I cut you off on what you might have thought of like saying to it before, but
No.
So that's why I've considered it. And part of that is maybe realizing the morning isn't as bad. It's just, I do think it's a thing of taking better care of yourself. Like, I don't know why you brought drinking in. Would you think drinking is the thing that stops you from feeling good in the morning?
Yes.
You think it's only drinking?
No, I think it's part of drinking and the fact that on weekends I go to bed late and wake up early still. Like I still am an early waker.
Yeah.
So I think those really screw me over. Plus I drink excessively on the weekends, so there's that part.
You are also a roller coaster when it comes to your drink. Not as much as before, but there'll be a time when I come here and say, we're not drinking anymore.
Yeah, there'll be a lull. There'll be a lull.
You know what I mean? Like you have so you can't live like you're like I talk about me in the peaks and valleys. Like you are a peak and valley fucking alcohol consumer like that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But the thing is, you go to bed so late during the week.
I know.
And you wake up early still. Like so you wake up earlier on the weekend than you do during the week.
And I go to bed earlier too.
Yeah, you must go to bed earlier too. You are getting the same. So you just think the quality of your sleep is changing because of the alcohol.
Yeah.
Does your food change during the weekend?
Yeah.
You don't.
Typically on Fridays typically Fridays is when the food really changes. Saturdays not as much, and I do the same thing. I just wait as long to eat on Saturdays.
Okay.
Just in case. And if not, then I just eat like whatever, then I'm just like whatever. It's not a big deal.
Just in case you go overboard on what you eat?
Yeah,
you
I go off the rails or freaking have a chocolate bar when I shouldn't have a chocolate bar, some shit like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, so we never even talked about that. I exactly feel the same way. So, yeah, like That's more important to me than like I get it. I get with the sleep thing. I hate agreeing with you, you know that, but there is more information that's a buzz. Like I did like
yeah.
first day to see it, and I just like I wanted to wait for myself to let it go for the whole week and like trying to analyze whatever the numbers meant. And I couldn't go all week. I ended up having to look at it like a couple days ago to see what it actually did.
Yeah.
And then it was a buzz to me to see the REM like almost always right at the end of my fucking night's sleep.
Yeah.
And then I was really buzzed out when the thing didn't even record anything. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? And I do remember waking up to take a piss in the middle of the night type of thing, right? And then like having a trouble going back to sleep. And then that day it recorded 2 different sleep sessions even, right? And so that's when I just started to discover like, oh, you can log it in when you go to bed and all that. But I don't like.
I think the tracking itself is accurate enough to where I don't think it would change anything.
I think there has to be a rapid change of something. So if I'm concerned that my REM sleep is happening every night or like whatever, almost like 80% of my REM happens the last hour before I get up.
That's probably because we only get 5 hours. My REM is, I think mine's somewhat similar. I think this is why doctors base it on getting 8 hours of sleep, because you are able to come out of REM, right?
So I think what you're saying is that if my had the 8 hours, then eventually that REM would be somewhere more in the middle of my sleep pattern. It would move.
Yeah.
It would be activated because it usually takes the people that have our sleep, then it takes a certain amount of hours to get into that.
Absolutely. So this is probably because I'm starting to get used to my sleep pattern, is my REM is kind of in the middle of my sleep, right? And then I am in REM like an hour before I get up, but I'm also in REM like 3 hours before I get up. So it's kind of like in the middle to the end. Like if you can see my chart, you see, it's like in the middle to the end as well. I get some light sleep because I wake up and shit.
Yeah,
but that's
pretty good.
And there is a stat that says if you wake up in certain parts of your sleep, I don't know if it's light. I don't think is it light? I think it's light. If you wake up when you're in light sleep, you won't be as tired.
Yes.
That's
what I remember reading other things for. If you can get alarm clocks that attach to your fucking circadian rhythms or whatever it is.
Yeah, so my watch does that. When I used to use an alarm when I was on day shift, it used to set an alarm, say I want to wake up at 6:30, and it would wake you up around 6:30 when you're in light sleep.
Yeah, I would say most of my times I do wake up in like
in light.
Half the time is light. To be honest with you, it's light mostly on the weekends, like during the week. Yeah, like I said, I do have to agree with you that there's like it's cool to have that kind of information.
But what do you do?
And that's what stopped me from doing it in the first place. And I don't know what to do with that.
Okay, it is. So I Googled it, and AI says, because now when you Google it, first thing is AI that pops up. It says, here's how to leverage your sleep tracking. Identify sleep patterns and trends. So you analyze your sleep, you look for trends, and you recognize your discrepancies.
That's not an answer.
We just did that.
That's not an answer.
We literally just did that. Track and measure improvement. So you monitor, you evaluate your bedtime. So this is if you want to improve it, right? So
this is obviously the only other thing.
This is what you were saying last week is even if you know, you're not changing anything because it's your lifestyle. And I'm not going to change anything. Even if while I know I'm not changing anything about my lifestyle, I go to bed. It's funny because I tell Celine all the time, like, I don't give a fuck. If you tell me right now at 8:30 at night, let's go to bed, I'm going to go to bed. I don't care.
That's insane to me.
I don't care because I like sleep. So going to sleep and watching TV is the same shit to me. It's the same freaking shit.
I don't want to give you like the Sleep King title, like because I don't. It sounds like I can't combat what you're saying. Like I love sleep too, but I don't look at it like that. Like I don't. I
enjoy both aspects of being awake and being. I enjoy them both equally. I don't hate going to sleep. Is not killing my fun or wasting my day to me. It's just another aspect of, because when I'm dreaming, I enjoy my dreams. I have no problem with my dreams. My dreams are better than some TV shows. Did you watch Love is Blind? That shit was terrible.
I
this
stopped.
season.
No, I did not watch it.
Oh my God, that shit was
I've had
so
enough of that.
terrible.
I've had enough of that. Good. I'm glad I'm not missing it.
Oh,
I've had enough of that kind of fucking
God.
shit. You're right. Your dreams are probably better than most TV shows. What was I going to say? I like sleeping, but I hate going to bed when I'm not tired.
Oh, well.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where I balk at you saying, like, oh, it's 8 o'clock, let's go to bed. Like, the reason why I said, like, I don't care what time of the day it is either. Like, part of, like, the reason why I can go to work on Saturday is, like, I love going for a nap. Like, the best thing about football ending, and it hasn't happened yet, is like, oh, I can start napping on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And my schedule is so used to Sunday football still, and whatever that is entailed, that we haven't napped on Sundays yet because I'm so sleeping in all kinds. Like, it's hard to nap when you don't wake up till fucking 1.
Yeah.
And so that's where, again, but I love fucking waking up at like 11, 10:30, and just fucking, like, all that.
Okay, so do you have problems going to sleep more often? Like, would you say that you have problems falling asleep?
No, because by the time I go to sleep, I'm like during the week, I'm fucking exhausted from working. And by the time I go to sleep on the weekend, I don't go to bed until I'm tired. Like, I don't have a bed schedule. You know what I mean? Like, if we're downstairs, like we have a schedule, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, whatever. It's like we start winding down. Like, yeah, we'll just wind down at a different time. Like yesterday, we were watching TV, and it was like 10 o'clock, and there's like, what do you want to do? He's like, you want to like, Tam will go have a shower, and then we'll watch another show before we go right up. And so I was like, do you want to watch another show before you go have a shower, or do you want to go upstairs for a shower? How tired are you? So, no, let's watch another show. So we watch a half-hour show, 45-minute show, or a real hour show. And so we decide which one we're going to do. We watch. So we picked like an hour show, right? Because we were not feeling that good.
And who falls asleep?
No, so in hindsight, Tammy was like, fuck, 5 minutes into that show, I wanted you to stop. I wanted to go upstairs.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of fine. But by the time we finished watching that, she goes to shower. Now we're really tired by the time we go to bed. And I had zero problem falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes if I'm kind of up, I'll fuck around on my phone, watch people play fucking Assassin's Creed or something, and whatever, and then go to sleep there. She always reads before she goes to bed. Like, I can't still thank her enough. I did on the show a long time ago, and I still thank her. She stopped watching TV before we go to bed.
Yeah.
And I would have earplugs in, but it would just kind of annoy me, like it keep me up for a while. So I don't have anything keeping me up other than how I could have done better at work, maybe. Like, you know what I mean? Like things, thinking out of
being
building.
alone
That's
with your thoughts,
very hard.
which is good.
Yeah, it was very hard to like think of like get out of my head. Like, what is actually coming up next? Like, what am I doing tomorrow? Like, so shit like that I can't get out of my head sometimes. Sometimes it's conversations like we were talking with Nate. I was like, fuck, I wish I said that thing.
Yeah.
And I don't dwell on that as much as I can. I haven't had that kind of problem for a while. So like I don't like yeah, there's no like I can't force myself to change those sleep habits. One of the reasons it had nothing to do with you was why I wanted to go on nights is because I've always known that is my natural sleep pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't have to change. My sleep would be, I would fucking be off the charts if I had fucking the night shift fucking thing.
That would be 99 sleep
I would
scores.
be the king. Fucking Steve or
getting-
Tim Cook or whoever the fuck is on this thing would be fucking like this. I'd be the employee of the month for fucking how much quality sleep I would get.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have to worry about a fucking thing. I wouldn't like. That's the problem. It would be so selfish of me to do that shift.
Mm-hmm.
I would have no life with my wife like all week long. All I would be doing is working and sleeping, which is pretty much what I do now. But that 2.5
I was
hours,
about to ask you.
that 3 hours I get to watch Jeopardy while we eat and watch Survive, a couple bullshit shows, and then have to go to bed. And I dwell on that when I'm feeling sorry for myself. It's like, oh man, it's not fair. What, we all have to go to work, like, you know, whatever it is. It's just like, I'd rather be doing this than anything else. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, go up and get to work. Oh my God, okay, Monday's done. I'm not wishing my Mondays away anymore. I'm trying to like enjoy the thing, like doing, but it's like, okay, so Tuesday's way easier to go to work than Monday.
Yeah.
Because I just say, and then Wednesday is not so bad because I've already got 2 in there and I've only got 2 more to go. And it's not 2 more to go for the rest. It's just like 2 more to go before I get to sleep as much as I want. Before I can drink again.
Yeah.
Before I can do some of the things that I'm building myself up for. And it gets me, the longer I do that, so that's like my new normal. But when it comes to sleep, it's just like I get it when I can get it. So I'm agreeing with you that it's interesting for the stats, but it's actually now more confusing to know what to do with it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just confirmed what I kind of thought. And now it's just be like, boy, it'd be good. Now I'm actually more in my head about it. Like,
So now you're gonna keep wearing it.
yeah, I'm not. I haven't thought of not taking it off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
now I'm here thinking, what the hell am I gonna do with these sleep stats? Because now I'm like, shit. Look at the.
you're gonna come in here next week. Saying, I stopped. Are you still
answer.
wearing that fucking thing? So now you're saying that to me, thinking like you think you should not wear it anymore.
Yes, I am. But now I'm gonna find out what I can do with these sleep stats. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole of what I can do with these sleep stats. So I'm gonna come to you next week and be like, this is what we can do, Jay.
So speaking of things that you don't know what to do with the information for,
Yeah.
what's the point of making a woolly mammoth mouse?
I have no idea.
Like this is another Twitter thing I've seen. Like the scientists of the world have like, I guess like it's a thing to try to bring back extinct species.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything good, bad, amoral? Like, what's your thought when you hear something like that?
It would only be for research.
Not for Jurassic Park?
No, I don't think there's any way that they will be able to create something that will live long enough. How long has this thing lived?
I have no idea. I didn't even go that far.
Because it would be some sort of like a type of cloning type of a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Dolly the sheep. I don't know if you're
Didn't
fucking old enough to
survive very
remember.
long.
Yeah, but they must have solved some of those problems by now.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if they have cloned people. Like, I don't know what they do with cloning. Like, I don't have a surrogate twin with all my organs.
Are you sure?
Like, in a closet.
Are you
like, I don't know
sure?
if I'm somebody else's surrogate twin. Like, I don't know if I'm one of these elites fucking, you know what I mean? Like, surrogate twins that they can take my organs for. But, yeah, like, I guess it's kind of like cloning, right?
Yeah,
like no, it's not. It's
You-
fucking DNA. It's not. It's like gene splicing. It's like Dr. Monroe's fucking island of fucking misfit. You know what I mean? Like, we're making fucking monkey dogs,
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
right? Like, it's not a monkey dog. It's
Is
like
this-
a furry mouse.
Is this woolly mammoth mouse big or small?
No, it's small. It's like just woolly. Like, it's just like a look like so you didn't even see it.
You know, I saw a picture of a woolly mammoth mouse, and it said,
You couldn't
"Look
click
at
on
this
it?
hairy." No, because I thought it was AI. Now we live in the world of freaking AI where everything is suspect now. So I don't even bother
I didn't
most
even
of the
fucking
time.
think of that.
I don't even
How
bother
sad
most
is that?
of the time. I know.
So your precious technology has got a reverse effect of
Well,
what it
yeah.
should.
Have you seen how good it is nowadays?
Of course I have.
So I can't trust anything. You can tell, but sometimes I don't even want to waste my time. But now I know it's a real thing.
I'm not over it. Like, I'm weirded out. Like, I think future kids, like, the fact that you just Googled something and didn't like chat GPT it and have a conversation with that information.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that that's not your go-to. Like, on
Whoa.
certain podcasts, I started listening to one that's called AI for Humans.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's with a guy I haven't listened to for ages, but I've been following him for fucking a bunch of years. He's like, it's Kevin Pereira. And he was like a video game, like whatever. He's been in the tech world for a long time as a commentator type of thing. And so I was like, oh, fuck, I haven't listened to this guy for a long time. And so he's had this AI for Humans podcast for a long time, I think. And now it was interesting to hear. And so they're just doing weird things, like having Gronk talk to fucking Alexa One, and they're right up on it. And it's this whole unhinged mode of these fucking AIs is kind of, I don't know, it's such a game. Yeah, but it's such nonsense to me. Like, I just don't understand.
Because we don't know what to do with it yet. It was just
I don't know what to do with it.
It was just like the internet in its infancy. We didn't really know what to do with it, and now look at what it has become. But
with the people that know what to do with it, though,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we don't. It's not benefiting us. It's
AI is benefiting us.
You're not looking at articles thinking it is bullshit AI now. Not thinking like, oh, this AI is enhanced my information fucking stream.
I do. It just depends on the situation, right?
I get that.
So like in terms of like me Googling it, for example, well now Gemini, which is Google's AI, is just embedded in my phone and everything. So when I Google something, that's the first. It's basically like if I was talking to it in a text, and it would just say, "Oh, this is the answer you're looking for," and it'll give you all the points. So it's just I'm already getting used to dealing with AI in more of a searching sense, and I do actually talk to AI in my off time when I'm lonely.
See, that's even creepier.
No, like when I'm like Sire, for example, I was trying to find out like a snack that I can give him before basketball, and something that has like protein and stuff that he can eat that's not too sugary and all these kind of things because he doesn't like certain foods and stuff. So I was talking to Gemini about it. I was like, so my kid plays basketball, blah, 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 blah. He's this old. And then she's like, oh yeah, basketball is a great sport, blah, talking all this shit. And I said, no, I'm trying to find out a food that I can give him like on the way to basketball as a snack. And then she's like, well, there's protein balls. You could do protein balls. So here's a recipe. And she gave me this. I said, nah, he doesn't like bananas and chocolate together, but he likes peanut butter. And then she starts giving me these recipes with peanut butter. And then we're just talking through it. And then I just end up not using any of it. But that's the type of things I use AI for. Pictures and videos and stuff, no. However, my buddy Kevin, shout outs to Kevin, right?
Never gonna hear it. Shout out.
Never gonna
Shout
hear
out,
it.
out to the void.
Adobe, I don't use Adobe anymore, so I can't experiment with it. But Adobe in video and pictures are using AI crazy. So he has this video that he showed us of him taking a video of his wife getting up from bed and walking out the room. So he does it, and then he's like, now this is what I did with AI. He made it AI create her turning around, putting a shirt on, and then leaving the room. And you can't tell. You literally can't tell. You can tell because it's some weird things, but the layman person wouldn't be able to tell.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is becoming more and more embedded than what some people are using it for.
Well, even that's why I agree with you. I don't, again, it's like sleep. Like, what do you do with that? Like, I don't know.
For
what a waste
editing
of time.
videos, you can recreate a scene that you wish you would have caught on camera. You can add in a scene that you could have caught on camera, which happens all the time when you're shooting.
Yeah, for editing, I can see it now.
For sure.
I remember however many, like almost a year ago now at least, showing one of the video creating content apps at that time. It might have been Sora or whatever, showing like give me a panorama of an old gold mining town. You know what I mean? Like in like circa 1859, and it was just like the sweeping landscape.
Oh yeah, for like stock videos.
Yeah,
as
and it would
well.
just be like background work is done in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like if you're making a video, you don't have to create. Everything is created for you.
Yeah, if you
like
wanted
show me, you know what I mean? Like a
scenes
cat
and
walking
stuff.
in a wet city in Tokyo.
Absolutely.
And so I've seen that stuff, and I get it for video. Like for my entertainment eyes, whatever you got to do to make the dinosaur look good is fucking fine for me. However you want to fucking do it.
100%.
Your friend showing you a video of something and you just like deciding if this is really whatever, his wife agreeing to something he said, that must be AI, because you never would have done it in fucking real life. Like, you know what I mean? Like I get that to convince you of something, and you either trust the person sending you something or whatever. No, I meant it more, it's weird for me that when you pick and choose how to conversate for your Googling, like you talking to Gemini about Sire's Snacks is exactly the way I think it works.
Yeah.
Like this is how I'm not embedded in that way of life yet, even close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Google's still a fucking like thing for me. I don't even care what search engine, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like I'm still fine with Google and fucking YouTube and these things. Like
Absolutely.
how else that is. But like you, with your technology and the things you're doing, like the fact that it's weird to me that it was your go-to for the Sire Powerball and it wasn't your go-to for your, like, why didn't you say, hey, Gemini, how do I, you know what I mean? Like, what do I do with these sleep statistics? And then, but you actually typed it in. So what made you type it in then instead of just asking then?
The environment.
Okay. Like
I
that's,
didn't want to ruin the audio. I
but
mean, it
you've
would
already
have
said-
added to it.
That's what I mean. Like,
It
I don't,
would've-
it didn't,
could have
that doesn't
added
make
to it.
I'll give you that as a reason, but it's not, you were still comfortable enough to stop talking to me and type. That's way more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Less podcasty.
Yeah, I
You know?
could have. I
it's-
could have done it the other way.
Yeah, and so that's not your default yet.
But I talked to it in AI
Yeah, you
by
did.
typing,
You're
just
half and
not
half.
verbally. Yeah.
No,
so it's more like environmentally. I don't know. In a habit, I would probably never talk to an AI in a situation where I'm having a
I
conversation with
think
other
that's because
people.
it's not your generation. Like this is where you don't do the video editing like Kev because that's what he does. And you can see it as a technology or whatever. You Google all the time, and now you, instead of just typing Google, you half and half.
Well, yeah, it's
Like,
automatically in our search engine.
But that's what I think it wants us to do. Like, you know, if you watch the ads, you'd be seeing the ads as like we're starting to become like the movie. We're going to fall in love with our AI. You know what I mean? Like information, because it's not just like the problem with just like asking Siri is she hardly ever tells you the information. She just here's what I found.
Yeah.
It's like fuck off. Tell me what you found.
Yeah.
Like show me. You know what I mean? Like this is what and like so you're like by her saying, "Oh, basketball is a good sport," it's like fuck off. Just give me the information. It's like it's lulling you into having a real conversation and getting your information like that instead of just you know what I mean, like pure information, like giving it to you in a conversation style.
Yeah.
Like that's that's just like for our human comfort. Like we're not comfortable doing it, but I think that's how we naturally really want it. We just don't understand that.
I think we naturally really want it.
I think in a way to cut you off, sorry, is that why video like FaceTiming is way more popular now than it was when it first came out. Like it took the people that thought they wanted it, like me, but you know what I mean, didn't really couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
Then you cut to 15, however many years later, and it's like all the zombies walking around in FaceTime.
However, how much do you FaceTime?
But I'm an old man.
Yeah, but
as Mara, does Mara FaceTime more than she talks?
No, she texts.
to you.
All she does is text most of the time.
Yeah, I wonder with her friends, like
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, I
she
would
texts a lot. She does do video call for sure, but probably more than me. But she texts a lot, and that text is still dominant.
I'm surprised. I believe you. I'm not. I would have thought the average would have been more. I'm just saying, like the use of that technology takes a while to kick in.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not just. It just took a certain amount of time for people getting comfortable on Zoom calls and fucking shit like that.
But Zoom calls is crazy.
Well, that's in a business sense. I'm just saying, like at work. The amount of times I see people in the lunchroom FaceTiming with whoever they're talking to instead of just having a fucking little private conversation.
I video chatted the kids last night.
That's you know what I mean. That's great. I'm not. There's nothing. There's no wrong answer.
I know it's
integration
weird.
of that technology.
It is even with the boys when they call their friends, they go on FaceTime or they have Messenger. They turn off their camera right away.
Yeah, so I'm wrong. Then my opinion on that is wrong.
It's just weird. No, now I'm trying to think about it. But my sister, she's like 35. She only video calls me.
That's what I figured the most would be.
She only video calls me.
That's what I was. My assumption is that's okay. That's used way more than it was each year that goes by.
Probably,
like the generation that gets used to that more.
But the thing is, our generations get lazier.
But I hate, like, I just don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, Tammy and I never video call. It's so weird.
Don't? Like, ever?
Ever.
No way. That seems like it makes a lot of sense.
That we should?
Yeah.
Of course. But we don't go to that technology. Like, we're never that.
You guys text, call, or video chat more? If you had to put it on a list of 1 to 3.
Text and call are real close. Video chat, I've maybe video chat with her fucking less than a handful of times in fucking the whole time I've known her. I would say texting because like it's half and half because she can call me at work because I got earbuds in.
Yeah.
And I can talk to her anytime.
But does she?
Yeah, she calls mostly. I talk to her, I would say on an average day, I talk to her. I probably talk to her on the phone like 6 times a day.
Holy. That's way more than I thought you would have said.
So she calls me when she's on her way to work.
Yeah.
She works different times. I'll call her on one of my breaks and one of my lunches. And then I'll talk to her on my way home. Mm-hmm. So that's 4 times right there.
Yeah. And then in between the day when you're... Yeah.
So in between the day... So
when you're saying Brian's coming over here,
in between the day, call me.
Please stay on the phone.
Here she wants. Oh, can I listen to this guy? Fucking go off. So yeah, half the time she's listening to you talk to me.
Yeah.
No. So those 4 times for sure. So throw in an average. So I would say an average of 5 times a
5
day.
to 6-ish?
5 times during the week. Sometimes it's only 4. Sometimes it might be 6. So we'll go with 5. And I would guess there would be an average of 5 text threads, like messages of that day too. Just like whatever it is, like that's probably less. That's maybe like 3 texts a day as well to go with the 4 or 5 calls
like
a day.
3 single texts or 3 like conversations?
3 mini conversations. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what the different. It'll be. That's
crazy because we're completely different.
What do you mean?
Like Selena will call me maybe once a day. Maybe, and a couple times a day if something's going on.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, Sarah went to the walk-in clinic, because he accidentally punched his friend at school, and his friend punched him in the face, and his friend pushed him and he hit his head. So then all of a sudden, Sire comes home and he says he has blurry vision, saying he has a
Jesus
concussion.
Christ.
As soon as he gets to the walk-in clinic, he wants to go home because his vision is fine. And then they tell him, well, maybe you shouldn't play basketball this Sunday. And then he's
I'm good.
It's like, right? So she called me a lot yesterday, but I would say out of the day, 80% of our conversations are through text, and it's probably like dozens and dozens of texts in a day.
Yeah, so that's...
But never video call with her.
Yeah. So I don't know like the difference. I can probably get more out of 5 conversations than you need in 4 texts.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Like it's the same amount of information being passed. You are also away more than I am. Like, or no, maybe that's not the
No,
same.
because she's here all day.
But she's not here when you get home from work.
No, she's not here. She's just here from when I wake up, which is around 10, to when I leave, 2:30, depending on the day.
Yeah. But she's kind of working. And
Is she, though?
I kind of said. And so she's, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely not quality time.
No, it's not
That's
quality
I'm
time.
not even like it's not a win-lose situation. But I'm just saying the 2.5 hours I have with Tammy after work, like at dinner and all that, that's way more quality time than
That's
before
like
you go to work.
actual quality time.
Yeah,
For
like
us,
we're
it's
both off the
more-
clock.
We do watch shows at
Before you go to
lunchtime.
work?
Yeah, like usually
I would
around
not
12 to
enjoy
1.
that.
We watch a show called Pop the Balloon is what we usually watch. Or if we're really into a TV show, we'll watch that. So, or we'll watch like Body Cam, which is a police cop video show. So we'll watch shows like that when she's a lot of times during the week.
Yeah, so unfortunately for me, like with my my knowledge that I have to go to work soon would ruin everything for me.
How? Work is great.
Yeah, but it's not what I want to do. Like
Why not?
My enjoyment is like limited to this until my responsibilities start. Like I can recognize that my responsibilities aren't the end of the world, but they're not my form of enjoyment.
You see, that's exactly how I look at sleep. I enjoy sleep and I actually enjoy work. So to me, anything I'm doing, I'm enjoying it for the most part, other than the frustrations. But frustrations isn't everything we do. Absolutely everything we do. So I basically enjoy my entire day and night.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say I don't. I'm trying to recognize.
So you got to enjoy it so that you can say, I'll watch a show, then I'll go to work and have some fun there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see Johnny and Brian and he'll come.
There's lots of good things to say.
Yes.
But it's not the bee's knees. Like,
Yes,
it's not
it is.
It's not the ideal.
You got to come in there looking like Mickey Mouse.
I try. Yes, you're fucking the way you try to say that it's no problem for you. The
It's
way
not.
that you try to say that, or like try to convince us and you maybe that it's a joy to do those things. I'm going to tell you now, speak for the rest of us here. The rest of us will call bullshit on that because we do what we like to do on our time is different from their time.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure you love watching Sire play basketball.
Yep.
And I'm sure you can fit it into your day and enjoy your day with it, all that. But you are sacrificing your time for that.
Absolutely.
Right? You're sacrificing your money. You know what I mean? You have to do that unselfishly to have that kind of fun. I do not want you to be the type of person that dwells on like, well, fuck, I'm halfway to fucking Mexico by now, or Panama. I'm halfway to fucking, I'm halfway to a new fucking car.
Yeah.
I'm halfway to a new computer or fucking a new necklace or whatever the fuck you want to spend your money on. Like the same thing, it doesn't matter. You show me your cousin's like jewelry and all that kind of thing. It's just like, I can't unsee what I could do with that money.
Yep.
But again, like, I don't think he's a fool for doing anything like that. Like, it's just what he enjoys. It's what he likes to get up in the morning to go do, or like whenever he gets up to do whatever he does. Like, it's not like, so I have to not hate what I do, but I can definitely separate my enjoyment and my recreation from my responsibility.
Recreation. You can,
I don't do well. So yeah, rec time and leisure time are the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I can see Sire's basketball and everything you do for that into your recreation, but also part of me would be like, I am sacrificing my time for my kid right now. Whatever you would do with that time would not be watching 6-year-olds play basketball, right?
Yeah,
Right? Like you can find enjoyment in it.
Yeah.
And find it in
And
but
that's the key.
Those soccer moms that just live for their kids and do all that, like their identity is gone. They've become their mom, you know what I mean? And that's maybe what you have to do to be a good parent. I don't know.
Forget that.
Well, I'm just
Won't
saying,
lose
I don't
your
even want to bring kids,
identity.
so I'm trying to, okay.
No, but I know as an example, but I think,
Like getting up and going to work and enjoying work,
well, I say this all the time, and people say I'm crazy. If I won the lottery, I'd probably still go to work. I would probably still wake up next morning and go to
$25
work.
million you would go to
If
work.
I won $25 million, I probably would go to work
That's insane.
until I got sick of working. Because to me, like, I don't know. I like
know what
working.
I would do?
I enjoy working. I could start a business, but I
would
don't
not.
want to be an owner,
No, no, no.
business owner. I don't want
I
to
hear
do
what
any
you're
of that. I could invest it and live off that, but what am I going to do in the day?
You know
like-
how I would picture that? No,
Yeah.
I've thought of sometimes the same thing or whatever, and if I can remember what I would say, because I don't want to. I hate the idea of starting my own business. Like it ruined
me
my
too.
dad.
I don't-
It's the hardest. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
It's never that kind of thing. And I do like building things. This is why I've had to talk myself out of not hating going to work and enjoy what I do. And not just because it's not fucking doing the worst thing in the world, like because I picked it and whatever. Is that I would not mind investing in the company I work for now, maybe.
Yeah.
And having some kind of arrangement with them, even if I had a big enough place to do my own. Like, yeah, I'll build you like one of these fire trucks every couple of months. Like, I'd still like to build something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get the contracts. I don't want to do anything. But you know what? I'm not coming in every day at 7. Like, I'm not going to eat my dad. You know what I mean? Like,
You want to come in on your own
I'll be
terms.
coming on my own time, and I'm going to work on my own shit, and I'll have to do that. And if maybe at the best, I do it off site, and I'm one of, you know what I mean? Like I do have some kind of arrangement where I would still work, but I would not be a fucking 5 day a week coming in here
What?
11 hours a day. Like, because I would
would.
have better things to do.
No, but like people won't do that. People don't do that. When people win the lottery, for the most part, you've heard of those horror stories. They become worse. They become lazier. They freaking spend all their money and blow it off and spend $25 million in a year.
Bro, I would have a personal trainer, a personal fucking nutritionist,
Yeah.
a personal chef, and travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would like maybe want to come and build a fire truck every now and then. But the more I traveled
Yeah.
and the more things I would do, I'd be like, you know what? I'm good. Like I see what you're saying, but me and my time is nothing to do with like the only thing about working is making that as good as possible.
Mm-hmm.
To go to basketball games, to go to watch TV. See, this is where I'm at. I have to save money just enough to get away for a couple of weeks. Luckily enough to go to Panama.
Yeah.
Right. And fucking like I have to concentrate so long for that small REM sleep. Like it's the exact same thing. I know what that information is.
Yeah.
This is what I got to do. I can't hate 50 weeks of the year just to enjoy 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah,
And I kind of like
absolutely.
do that. And I see that. And you've helped me in conversation, like not live like kind of like that thing. Like,
That's my
like
philosophy.
enjoy those kind of moments. But don't, it's not changed. It's just moved around a little bit. Like there's still more enjoyment in some of those days than there are others. And yeah, flatten it out. Like don't be peaks and valleys. The same with your alcohol. Like you're gonna just drink until you're sick of drinking and then stop and then like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
Okay? And so it's fine. And I do that with my weight and exercise. It's like after being on it for a certain amount of weeks, now it's hard to see like, God, why did I ever stop doing it? Like, you know what I mean? But every day at like fucking 4:45 when, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like,
When I come over,
can I fucking not? No, it's nothing to do with you. But part of so whatever, it could be at any time. Every day in my head, after I'm getting through the day and things are going good and I'm getting ready to whatever, I'm thinking about home and and having to go and exercise and putting my actions to where I'm talking like now. I'm just like, fuck. What can I do to get out of this? Like, can I not work out today? And the longer you do it, just like, okay, yeah, but then you're going to sit on the scale or you're going to this and that, and you're not going to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You think you'll feel good about not having to exert yourself, but until you do the second reps of the push-ups and you get there and just like fucking, you're fucking hurting and you're sore and do it, but you realize like, yeah, number 6 wasn't as hard as last. Like 2 weeks ago, number 6.
Great.
Like it's like, and you only can do that to yourself. Like I did that, and then so I've done it long enough now. It's superseded the fucking like it doesn't stop the negative. Like, hey, are we gonna not do it today? It's like fuck yeah. I still have that AI conversation in myself, and then I override it but before I would do it. But now that's the same thing with the drinking. It's like, wouldn't it be great to have 7-8 beers for the day? It's like, sure would. What does Wednesday look like for you after that? Like, you know what I mean? Like I balance it, but there's no doubt that if I was rich, then I had no of those consequences or whatever. Like if I had way more time to myself, I wouldn't have these bullshit conversations about what my sleep was like. Like my sleep would be exactly what I want.
Maybe you would have more conversations because you'd be going to the doctors and you'd be thinking, well, now that I'm rich, I want to live rich as long as I possibly can. Doctor, what do I do to live? Okay, we'll track your sleep. We'll make sure that you're sleeping this long and you got to get this many hours. And then when you wake up, make sure you do this.
Yeah.
Take these supplements. So you would be having these, but you'd probably be having more bullshit conversations because you would have more time for bullshit conversations.
They'd be less bullshit conversations because I'd have the time and ability to do action on it. They're bullshit conversations now because it's like, oh, were you going to go to bed at 10:45 instead of 11:15?
Or 8 or 9?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Then my life is totally fucked for that. Then my life is 45 minutes of leisure time after work every day.
But is life leisure time? Does leisure time equate to life? No, not necessarily.
I don't work. I work because I have to.
There's lots of people who don't have any leisure time at all.
Yeah,
we'll say like Elon Musk, for example. He probably has zero.
He has all the leisure time in the world.
He has no leisure time.
He has nothing to do but what his whims want.
No. He has no
put
leisure.
upon fucking time.
No. He has no leisure time. He has no leisure time.
That's a consequence.
You'll never see a video of if you do, it's rare. A video of picture of Elon Musk on a vacation on a yacht doing nothing. You'll never see it.
That's because he's fucking psycho and he can't stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, his leisure time is firing people.
No, his leisure time is
automating factories.
It's not only that.
That's he's doing jerks off on everybody can fire.
He's doing a lot of stuff for progression of humanity.
I can't see it anymore.
I know you can. I know. People don't know we've had this part of this conversation this week.
That's a tagline. So is Bill Gates.
No, Bill Gates is less of a.
So is Bill Gates.
He's less of that.
How quickly we forget.
No, because he
can't wait 20 years from now who our new Elon Musk will be.
I'll give you an example. All of Elon Musk's company has all been for the benefit of humanity.
Elon Musk,
right? So
it's all been
Tesla's have been a benefit of humanity.
I can think of
now. The Boring Company is a benefit for humanity.
And then the one percenters, all these one percenters.
No, it's not because Teslas aren't one percenters.
Because he's trying to send it to the masses from the 1% trickling down.
No, his first car.
You can have a Model 3.
Go ahead. His first car was 100,000. That's the masses. That is not the 1%. He doesn't have a 1%er car. He doesn't have a $10 million, $15 million car, right?
Yep.
The Boring Company is to create tunnels for better transit. That has nothing to do with the 1%ers.
Do you think the 407 is elitish?
No.
Yeah, it is. It's because people can't afford to go on the 407.
I take the 407 regularly.
I'm just saying. So we are in the elite compared to the people that can't afford it.
But how do you think
it's going to cost to ride the tunnel in LA? It's the 407 times 20.
Well, he says it will be just like riding the bus.
Yep. I get it. Okay. I don't want to shit on the technology.
I know, but
produces.
I'm just saying
I can separate the world, the generous world donator.
Doge is all about progression.
Yeah, nothing to do with pumping up a meme coin.
Nothing to do with that. SpaceX is about
it's about the payloads that we can charge people to go up in there.
Of course, but no. Look at space. Look at Starlink. That has nothing to do with rich people. That's all poor people benefiting and having internet where they would never have it before. You don't
see a smart business guy seeing an open market? Seeing something that is vulnerable and ripe for the taking?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's it's not all altruistic.
I do, but they both can be true. Both can be true.
That's the benefit of these amazing ideas. You don't think he fucking gets off on you thinking of him like that? That's the power of it.
Regardless, the business models say that. And he's smart enough that he could have done anything. He could have done the Microsoft way, which was a benefit of humanity in the beginning, but now it's not. Steve Jobs is dead, so I don't want to talk shit about him. But Apple is not out here for the benefit of humanity.
I don't think any of them are.
But you can have business models that do benefit humanity.
Sure.
Like
Samsung,
for example. That's a great example because they do a lot of philanthropy. Fuck, I can't even speak.
Yeah.
My tongue is getting pasty and heavy. So I've been
more beer.
So you know what I mean? So yes, there are companies that do that, and Samsung's not like a one head type of a company anymore. So yes, so that's why I do see the businesses he chooses to, while they may be a convenient niche for him to create a lot of money and have a lot of people look at him as like,
Okay, so I'm going to make this conversation. So, did you think he would rather have a fully automated plant or a fucking plant that employed 30,000 people?
I think any business owner would want to have a fully automated plant.
And so that's why he shouldn't be in government, because it's not for the people. If you're not willing to subsidize those people, that's just as bad as sending your job to fucking India.
So you don't agree what he's doing with Doge?
No, I think he's.
You don't think government has become
right out by him.
You don't think government has become
Yes,
wasteful?
I do.
Because
I
Doug
don't know the
Ford
benefit.
did the exact same thing in Ontario.
You're right. No, I don't see that. So the difference is, I see more of an egomaniac in Musk. I'm not even trying to pull a full 180. I just don't think it belongs in there. I don't know the difference between what I like about Doug Ford about this. Like, the people that don't like Doug Ford, I have to listen to.
Pause. Did you vote?
Yeah.
Did you vote for Dougie?
Did you vote? Yes, I did.
Okay.
At the same time, my wife didn't. I'm putting shit out there.
I just wanted to know if.
I did this time because I love his stand up to fucking Trump. I spent more time on this side stumping for Trump. All the
Would
things.
you have voted for him before the Trump thing or without Trump?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I like the way Ontario's moving for me. I don't have any kids in school.
I agree with you.
I have no fucking. I don't know what the fucking. I love the NDP attack ads on him. Like, yeah, Ontario's great if you're like one of Doug Ford's buddies, and you know what I mean. Like, it's not out for little people. I
have kids in school, and I think what he's doing.
Yeah, that's fine. But I do want to know that there is another side to the story.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't hero worship him. I don't think he's a fucking savior of any kind.
Nobody
I think
is.
most of the time it's just the ineptitude of what was here before he got here. And I do like. I do lean towards more of a business style, and you know what I mean, like less government waste if we can fucking help it.
So you hate Doge,
but that's because it's the optics of it. Like, I don't hate everything about it.
They just do it very obnoxiously.
Yeah, they're gleefully like for a side that fucking rallied about everything they saw on the other side. Like, they're not taking power gracefully. They're not having a graceful. Like, I look at it more of a. There's single people making single decisions.
Well, they're parts of. They have committees.
There's
and
no
groups.
votes on any of this.
They're not voting, but they do
There's no
groups.
representation.
Doge is a group of people. It's not just Elon.
I get it, and they've been vetted like any other federal fucking thing has been vetted. Like, it's not. I don't know the difference between. Yes, on a whole, I want government waste to stop, and I do need it's got some kind of audit has to be done. By him being the auditor, I don't believe him.
So you don't like what he did with Twitter? Because he basically he's doing to government what he did with Twitter.
Yeah, so I don't know how red-pilled I am of Twitter. This is my confusion of talk of Twitter. Like, now, yeah, I like the apparent bias of Twitter, but now if he's the one who's owning Twitter, like I said, I have to find the balance. If I stay too much on the work-related, Elon Musk was one of the first people I followed on that thing, then I am so red-pilled.
Well, you just got to change it.
That's me. But that's the problem with what I don't like about Twitter is it's like, if you're not careful, you still go into the rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
You still get, like you compartmentalize. You know what I mean? Like, you still stay on one side. You still don't, you can't get out of your bubble. And I'm just as susceptible as that is probably more than anybody.
Mine's just filled with porn.
What?
Mine's just filled with porn.
Well, why aren't you any happy? No wonder. That's your leisure time right there.
Exactly.
Are you watching porn at work? Like, what the fuck?
No.
Yeah, so that's why it's not good to be at work, right? Like, you can't be fucking. I see. So that's why the night shift is failing.
Exactly.
I see. I thought it was just Booby.
Where's Brian? I don't know.
Maybe, who came for
room.
Booby or you? Who was the worst one with these fucking sick ideas?
I don't know. It was pretty close.
I don't like so I told you, like, I was hesitant to listen to Musk on Rogan. And I don't, like I said, listening to Joe Rogan over the years really helped me change my life.
Pause. How was the last interview with Musk on Rogan?
I was more about it. It was before Trump got elected, and he was talking about why he wanted Trump in and all the bullshit things that were going on.
So do you think your view on Musk changed,
Yes.
or did he change?
I think my views on Musk changed.
So you think he's been consistent?
within the
Ish.
last
Within a
6
margin.
months. Like
No,
I
I'm
don't
talking
think
about-
he's as consistent as he was when I did not see him in politics at all. My initial whatever, like positive thoughts on him were, I like the things he does. I like the Boring Company. I like Starlink. We get the X phone. I love that he bought Twitter, and it's more of a free speech thing than if he didn't buy it. Right? I'm just going along the lines of those things.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not hero worshiping him for fucking saving free speech in the world.
Yeah,
I'm not giving that to
absolutely,
him. Okay,
absolutely.
And you don't think that he doesn't dine off of that?
He
comment?
probably thinks he did say.
That's what I'm
free speech
saying.
in
That
the
I
world.
see that now. I've seen nothing but at least 6 months or a year of red-pilled fucking thoughts, me included, of pumping this guy up like he can do no wrong. That, you know what, government needs to be more business-like. And I've turned a 180 watching the best businessmen in the world treat the government like a business, and going back to my feed with other things, just seeing like fucking, yeah, this is affecting this, that, and the other. Not just fucking migrants eating cats or fucking whatever, but it's not leading to prison reform or better education. The idea of knocking the whole defensive, like there's just too much destruction.
Yeah.
There's just too much of a fucking kid in a candy store getting to fucking enjoy the limelight.
But maybe their view is that they need this destruction to rebuild it in a better way. And maybe they won't be able to rebuild it, but either side that wins in the future will be able to build it back up better.
That's fine.
More modern.
You're right.
More
That
modern.
must be grace to go in there. But unfortunately, because he wants to be government, like the Doge thing bothers me. Most of it doesn't touch me at all. I'm not American. I'm just watching it and just trying to hear the other side of it and not be so pilled on fucking him and his ideas. But the more I see it, just like it more convinces me, like, no, there's a difference between a business and a government.
Yeah, for
and I don't
sure.
know what that is, and I can't fully articulate it, but there's something different, and that's why you can't have just a straight businessman doing it. I've heard enough talk of people that weren't voted in making such great decisions. This is the ultimate example of somebody that wasn't voted in making a decision, right? Like the president did assign him, so maybe if you all want him, then whatever he does can't make a fucking can't be a wrong decision. So it goes. I don't know enough about. Like I've seen the rise of Bitcoin and other things. I don't know enough about Hawktua coins and meme coins and all these other things, but I know it's a fucking weird game. It's like the stock market on steroids, and most people like you and me lose in that. I wish I bought a Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin when I first heard about it, when it was $1 or whatever the fuck. And now I don't understand that, but I can wrap my head more around that. But like these other meme coins, the fact that he named it Doge after his coin, I can't separate the two.
Well, I don't even think he owns the coin, but he's a very big pusher of.
I've heard Doge from his mouth so much
man,
before he
loves
began,
it.
but then he
Yeah.
got to make it more that.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's
100%.
that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
And it's not just for humor. Like I can't find
it works well.
I can't find the personal
Department
gain
of
government efficiency.
government efficiency.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's crazy.
It's fine. But I can't separate the personal gain he gets to call it that. Right? It'd be like fucking, yeah, we're going to make the work-related division of the Ontario No, I know, but it's going to be about relations between work and government.
WR coin.
Yeah, right? Like, so there's too much to gain in that. And
I want to
can't
see what
it.
Doge is doing right now.
So I think what I can't separate is the whole tariff attack on Canada and Trump. And those words don't come out of his mouth. And so I'm very confused and angry about that whole situation, that I don't like anything I see about it.
Just to note, Doge is down over the past year.
See, and you talk to Nate, and not about Doge or anything like that, and it might not matter what people think of you, but now the world hates America even more.
I know.
Like it's like I said to you before,
good.
it's not great.
Yeah.
Like it's not great. And like, did you see the goose and the eagle fucking confrontation on Lake Ontario?
No.
There was a 20-minute, there's a photographer. This is real. At first you think it's fake. I'll send it to you if I find it. But there's a goose just fucking chilling on a frozen Lake Ontario, and a bald eagle fucking comes and lands on it.
No way.
I swear to God, you think it's AI, and apparently it's not. It's fucking, I'll find it and I'll post it on our Twitter. The thing is, and
that
the
eagle
fucking,
has no chance.
the eagle tries to fuck with the goose for a while. And it tries to fuck it for 20 fucking minutes. The eagle is the aggressor.
Yeah.
And the goose is fucking, come on. Right? And the eagle eventually flies away.
Yeah.
And so that's a perfect representation of what's kind of going on there.
Of why you don't fuck with geese.
Yeah. But it's also the big bully America, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Mr.
no,
Trump
I know what you
coming
mean.
down and just
Yeah.
like, okay, this is what you want to do now. We're not going to stop SEAL Team 6 from coming over here and do whatever they want. For you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And this is what I couldn't imagine that the fucking taking Kentucky bourbon off of our shelves would cause such a reaction down there.
I know, right?
Right? Like, because I get why we're doing it, but then all of a sudden I see a news report, you know what I mean? Like, talking to Kentucky, like, to U.S.
the
booze
government
makers.
of Kentucky
Yeah, it's fucking like, oh, that's wrong. What Ontario is doing
is taking jobs away.
Is taking jobs away from
Yeah.
us. This isn't the problem. We love Canadian. We didn't do any of that. It's exactly the same. You can't see it. This is why we're doing it. And it's the goose responding. It's just like fucking, okay, well then we're not going to buy him anymore. We thought it was all good. And so Trump doesn't drink.
I want to use bourbon for cooking.
Trump doesn't give a fuck
Of
really
course not.
about Tennessee bourbon makers.
And the only reason he changes things is because everybody's coming at him, just like the car makers.
And
Right?
it's easily for him to say that, but this is
he
like
didn't give a fuck in the beginning because none of that affects him or any of the businesses that he does, right?
yeah. But then so I don't know. It's the same as other countries. Like
Yeah, we're gonna tariff everything that comes across the border. How many businesses do you have that transports things across the border? Oh, none. I'm into hotels and property
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
None.
You know what I mean?
none of my fucking real social media, but like none of the fucking
Right?
internet stuff affects it.
Right?
It's real rubber meeting real road, and that's why I don't believe any of it. Like even like the whole fucking little man, like everybody, like this is where it comes. You won't convince somebody who just thinks that, oh yeah, this will eventually bring jobs back to America. Like
It
I
might.
can't wait for it. It has to just all stop right now. Like the unfortunate for thing is this is poor Tammy for me. Like she watches the news more now, and she's telling me like the tariffs are back on or back off. I don't fucking want to know anymore. Like I'm sick of the fucking yo-yoing and sick of like it's nothing good. Like I mean, it's good to be informed, but I just rather stick my head in the sand and wait for it all to go away. Like him fucking like taking the tariffs off again. Like she told him just like, what's going on here? And then Ford going, well, I'm not fucking stopping until you just fucking stop it all.
Yeah.
And then it comes to the power we supply to them. Like we don't want to fucking
25%
stop any
tax.
of that.
Yeah.
And it's so easy in a fucking land of 300 million people for you not to give a fuck about 2 million people that get their
Right.
power from some way.
Right.
The percentages don't matter. If you're Doge, that's an easy wash. But that's not real people really affected. And then it's like the whole fucking thing is just getting blown up for no reason. And I'm not going to live or die in the growth period that whatever changes from this. And I'm not saying we just need a new overlord or whatever it is. Like I would love. Let's see. They were talking to some fucking Fox thing, and they were talking to a Dodge dealership, and they were talking about how it's fucking them and this and that. And her response to this guy was just like, "Well, in Europe, you hardly see any American cars,
Yeah.
right? Like it's all like German cars. So why do we give a fuck if we tariff them for this or that or the other?" And that's like so short sighted to me. Like that's fine and do that, but we have nothing but like we have everything here too. And if this is how they want to go, and I would love to see nothing but non-American cars here anymore. Like I don't know, like if we're not allowed to build them here.
I don't think I've ever owned an American. Oh no, I have.
I've
but
owned-
I'm just saying, like I've owned a Lincoln and a Chevy. But when I do, you buy American cars.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So for me, wouldn't even really matter. But I kind of agree with the tariffs in a certain sense. I kind of agree with this whole back and forth right now, only because it'll be a wake-up call for our country.
Okay.
And I
but
think that is necessary.
that's fine. But like I told before, it just makes me want to have better trading partners.
Exactly. And that's the whole wake-up call that we probably needed freaking
Yeah.
probably 10 years ago.
You're right. I don't want to live in the fucking world. So we talked briefly last week or whatever, but like there were no Chinese cars at the fucking thing at the
Yes,
show, and like
yes.
this and that. I was talking about they really have the electric car revolution going on there,
Yeah.
and they're keeping it from us. This is like Google being banned in China.
Yeah.
We've been banned of what's actually going on for other cars
Yeah.
in the world. So I would love a brand new fucking China fucking car plant here.
Absolutely.
You showed me that $30,000 fucking luxury car.
Beautiful.
That's so much fucking things going on. Like I would love to fucking have one of
Yep.
those and get that. And so, okay,
So,
that's
yeah.
fine. You
Don't-
want to ruin fucking 75 years of economic partnership
Are we-
for your monarchy.
Are we really going to lose out for not having any Dodge and GMs. I mean,
No,
I'm
but
fine with
if-
having Range Rovers and BMWs and Daewoo's. Is that what the thing? And there's and Renaults.
But I didn't mind. Like this, you call it the wake up call, and I get it, and I can see it like that.
No, it's a wake up call that when you're so dependent on somebody with no backup,
Yeah.
you should have already thought about this.
I don't mind you looking at that, but I also say that it's fucking shit up for the sake of fucking shit up.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
It's not, but best friends fall out all the time. So
Yeah, but okay. So when one of them is the fucking problem, like if
What are you
if
gonna
you're
do?
if you okay, so if one of your friends really did you wrong, and it had a personal effect of you, and they weren't even sorry for it. If they were like unapologetic
Mm-hmm.
and saying like this is the way it's going to go, then I wouldn't want to be friends with them anymore.
I would do. Well, I might want to be.
I would be
friends with them.
confused.
I might want to be friends with them, but the more stock of my friendship goes to my other friends at that point. If you are my best friend
Yeah.
and you're not doing the things that we were benefiting off of each other in terms of friendship, then I'm gonna take that stuff that I was benefiting from you and do it with another friend.
If you weren't completely shocked that happened to you, you can say like, oh, that's bad on you for trusting another human. But just like
No.
how sad is it that you can't 100% trust your friends?
Yeah, I'd be like, that sucks.
Yeah, that's it. And
But
it's
I'm
not
not
all
gonna
on
have,
you for
I'm not gonna have no other friends just because I have one best friend. That was the problem. I'm not gonna have no other friends, and also in my country, in my house, I'm not gonna have no relationships in my house just because I have one best friend who's doing all of the things that he could do or she could do on the outside. You still have to have other relationships. And that's where Canada fell apart, because they barely had relationships with each other, with interprovincially, and they didn't have that many great relationships, trade relationships outside, because they were just like, well, we have my best friend here who has big muscles and takes steroids all the time. I don't need anything else. And this was the wake up call where they realized they should have needed other things. They should have needed other people. Like you said, I remember back in the day, we did have Chinese cars here. Like Daewoo was here all the time. And now those cars are gone because nobody was buying them, because propaganda and marketing and stuff pushed us towards the easier car to get. We don't need to get it overseas. It just crosses the border. But that put us in a situation now where that's all we have. Not necessarily all we have. We obviously have European trades and stuff, but still, those are the elite cars.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I see
I know.
that, but I'm putting the onus on them for breaking that trust.
For sure.
Like one of the best parts is that we're the only people that know that how different we are from America. Right? Like it's annoying to think that we're thought of just as Americans, but just like I'm sure Latin America thinks that it's annoying that everybody thinks we're Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? Like nobody gives Panama any thrift. You know what I mean? They just think of all the bad things that happened there.
Right.
Right? Like it's easy to see the difference. And it's easy to diminish Panama because it's not a big fucking G7 country. So we've always had this power. We've always had this maybe it's been skewed to more to our steroid fucking taking big brother because there's been a mutual beneficial agreement there. Like I said, for one person to dismantle that, it's not like that's the only thing we have in town.
Mm-hmm.
Like our immigration policies, our worldview, the difference that people can change from Canada to America from around the world is a thing.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
There is a separation, like it's a balance of the two, but it's the differences that we've created. Like I would have to think the amount of relationships that we have with India, you know what I mean, and Europe are. I'm sure there's just as many Indians in America
Indian
too.
relationship's kind of shit
What?
right now. Our Indian relationship's kind of shit.
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
they got weirder fucking things going
Yeah,
on, but we have nothing
bullshit.
but Indian people and Indian
Yeah,
countries,
yeah.
companies that have come here from over,
Absolutely.
and have created a Canadian life.
And if you go on the West Coast, it's nothing but Chinese companies.
And they've been here, and we've had that relationship there
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's why I bring up with the Chinese car manufacturer. Like we're ripe for their partnership.
100%.
I've seen a map where it's like this was the world, and 20 years ago or whatever here, just like this thing here. I'm looking at a diagram that's like got 40 tiles on it, and half are light blue, half are dark blue.
Yeah.
And this was trade partners with this was China and this was US and this was all the different countries in the world. And now that was 20 years ago. You get to today, this is all dark blue except for this and this, Canada, US. Canada and US supply everybody.
Yeah.
The rest of the world is done by China.
Yeah.
And so now you want to break this up? And so, like, that's not us. Like, we're like, no, we're stronger together. Just like you said in one of our beginning conversations, like, couldn't you imagine the supercontinent of Mexico, US, and Canada, and like all on $1 and all this? Yes, the idea of that is great, but who's in control? Like, I would not want to give the Trump administration that control.
Absolutely
and
not.
so I don't know who. I wouldn't give that to Ford or fucking Trudeau or anybody. I don't know who that would be. And then so we're not even talking to any Mexicans.
Governors. There'd just be 3 governors.
You know what I mean? Like, so no, but like I'm saying, like the idea of that is good, but how do you implement that? And then that's further away from even being more reliant. Like you know what I mean? You're willing to
At that point, you wouldn't need it.
You're willing to be like, but then that's why we thought we didn't need it in the first place.
Yeah.
We're talking about agreements from 1950s and 60s. And even before then.
And that's the problem with not modernizing.
Yes. But then that's what I'm saying. So now they're coming in with this big modern fucking hammer. I don't know. Like, the growth pain is fine. And I just can't get over, like I said, I just can't get over pissing us off for whatever reason you think.
I really want to know what it's going to be like 10 years from now. Like, is this going to be a mistake, or is this going to be a benefit to all 3 countries in North America? Well, the North American continent. Like, is Donald Trump actually right? I know it's the growing pains right now are about making America great again, but if this has the same effect on America that it will have on Canada of being more insular and finding different trade partners, buddying up with other people, because that's what they're doing, right? Is it going to work out for the better? Because I was thinking that even though while it's all frustrating right now and like anything we buy is going to be more expensive, like I said, for the wake-up call, I think it would be better off long-term that we are going things about a different way. Not to completely segregate ourselves, but like our work said a couple years ago, we were so dominant with CN.
Yeah.
And they said we need to diversify, and we want to make them less than 20% of their business when they were like around 30 to 40% of the business. They wanted to make them less, which they have done. And that seemed to work out for the better. So we should reduce our reliance on the Americans, even though it's easier. But in the long run...
Yeah, my faith is in the long run, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
My worry, though, is like...
We're going to be screwed up right now?
No. My worry is like, I don't... Like I said, like, I've never really given any thought, like real thought to like... it doesn't really, I hate this word, like the elite type thing, like the fact that they won't need us anymore, like the automation revolution and the AI revolution. I don't know how much they know how much really that's going to disrupt things, and I really don't know what that landscape will look like in like 10 years. And I also can recognize that the status quo, like I usually like the status quo. So blowing it up for the sake of blowing it up might have been necessary because the status quo was too stagnant, like you said. But I'm afraid that we're not really looking at the things that are 100% going to affect us. I think that these are becoming more insular. Like this is going to, in my mind, I'm not looking to. In my mind, the Americans, him deciding for them to become more insular, it's from the article I read before. It's like your world influence is going to go away.
Yeah,
like they are purposely withdrawing their world influence. And right now we look at it as a good thing. Oh, they're just not going to cause wars everywhere.
Of course,
but wars aren't going to stop.
Yeah,
they're just not going to be in control of those wars anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, if I had soldiers going to work, if I was just American, my tax dollars going to work, I would say, okay, that's great. I don't want to do that. I'm sick of doing that anymore. That's fine. But in an economic sense, you can't just trade back and forth with yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And so without willing to dance with somebody, and if you're going to take away all your dance, if you think you can just do it all yourself, then I think that's a wrong thing. I think within 10 years from now, if this is the way it goes, I would like to think that our partnerships around the world have just grown more. I would like to think that we're more Dubai-ish on our own our resources. And I would think that, like I said, we are the biggest free agent the world could ever think of.
Yeah.
We have all this fucking land. Like, again, you can look at it, we're ripe for a takeover in a military sense. But if China loves going into Africa and exploiting Africa like we've been propagandized, and I'm sure it's true, but then why not have them as a partner with us? You know what I mean? Like, enjoy, like, this, if they're the one, if they're the new America, like, let's just fucking join in.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're not a democracy, but I don't think the Americans now are either. I think they were voted in, but like they're acting just like fucking a Chinese dictator and deciding what's going on. So let's just partner up with somebody that does want to partner up with us. And yeah, just because the land is like they're like inconvenient, like those barriers aren't the same anymore.
Yeah.
And so I think this is like you could call it a wake up call, but I just think it's a pivot. I think it's just a different way that, you know what I mean? Like we become more self-reliant and just have better partners. But those partners can just turn on you again too.
Of course they can.
And so you do have to have agreements for stability. You have to know, you have to predict how, you know what I mean? Like you don't want, you want it to be the line going, you know what I mean?
But
like
that
straight.
didn't work for us with the States. We had an agreement. And how did that
but then
work?
you can read it in attack ads. Like he wants to create jobs by taking them from other countries.
Yeah.
And so that's attacking countries in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's like, by me making you a truck and you making me a computer, like that's just an agreement. That's just like me giving you a fucking cow and you giving me a fucking couple of chickens.
Yeah.
Like there's something to do there. If you're sick of like, fuck this guy, I'm sick of buying fucking why do I have to get I don't know why you would break that if they interview to get fucked over by the other person.
Yep.
Or see like, you know what, this guy's trucks, and then you have to be more competitive.
Yeah.
But you still have to find somebody else. It's not like you don't fuck you until you have somebody else over there.
Absolutely.
Right? And so that's I don't know. That's just my negative thoughts of that are tainted with my negative thoughts of anything I see from coming from that side. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know how to end that conversation now.
Yeah. Just like that.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I do have something to say about Kai's piano.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hard pivot. His next concert date's came out.
Really?
Yeah, but it's in June. It's in early, I think it's June 7th.
Okay, great. I definitely want to come to that.
For sure. So yeah, you guys.
Are you allowed a certain amount of people to come? Because I'm sure everybody's kid wants like so many people to come. If there's a spot for us, we'd like to see that.
You guys we'll definitely get you guys tickets.
Tickets, wow.
Yeah, we have to buy
Concert.
tickets.
Impressive.
But like, there's a lot of people there, but whatever.
So this will be his second recital.
It'll be his second one. They've been talking to him and his piano teacher have been talking about songs, and he wanted to do that Beethoven
still been
song
practicing that?
Fiordali's. Yeah, he can play it pretty well.
Nice.
And she's like, we can find something better than that. So we'll
No way.
see. Yeah, we'll see
Better
what he's
than
gonna
that.
do. I know it's kind of crazy.
Oh,
So
man.
we'll see what he goes. But yeah, I think it's in early June.
What if we get him to be like some kind of fucking Little Richard or Ray Charles fucking guy, like going
Could you
crazy
imagine?
on the
It'd be
fucking
crazy.
piano? That's awesome. Well, I guess I'll have a chance to see. So Sire is in the basketball championships in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Still haven't
couple
gotten to
weeks.
see him yet.
Yeah,
He's too lazy lying in bed
He's
too long.
doing Jay. He's doing his 3-on-3 this week, and then he's off next week, and then the championship game and ceremony is
Fuck, man, look at your
the
kids
week
go.
following. So we'll see. They're undefeated, 5-0, as he just said
Yep.
downstairs.
5-game winning streak.
Yep.
What do we on? What do we call it, Dad? 5? What?
Right.
We've done something good for 5.
So yeah, that's good. They'll be
That's cute, man.
It'll be good.
Speaking of that, you kids are on March break, but they got the Friday before.
Yeah.
Like this is why we need Trump, right?
Exactly.
Without Trump, these kids
March
will be
break
in
should start
school.
Monday, damn it.
Back in my day, make March break again. Make March break great again.
Back in your day and my day, March break was 2 weeks.
I did not have a 2-week March
You didn't have a
break.
2-week March break?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I might have
had a
forgotten
2-week
everything I
March
know. I
break.
have Tammy. She's not as old as
Yeah.
I am, but she's closer to that. I'll ask her. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Man, that'll show you how quickly you forget everything. I do not remember having a 2-week.
Oh,
fucking-
yeah, 2-week March
Interesting.
break, man.
I'm not signing off
Google
on that
it,
for
Google
sure.
it.
Well, to all the rest of these listeners out there, if you're on March break with your kid next week, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Just like my buddy Brian over here, he's doing things. We might not make it next week because he's got so many
March break
adventures,
stuff.
things to do.
I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, by the way. Did I
Oh,
tell
are you really?
this? Yeah.
Good
So
for
I have
you.
those days off.
So you are you gonna be? So you happy about that or sad about that?
I am undecided right
You
now.
fucking idiot.
But my groin is killing me, so I don't
We don't want to know.
right?
TMI. I gotta go. Talk about a hard pivot. Way to get us out of here. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for listening to the Work Related podcast.
Yeah, and follow us at Related by Work on X.
Maybe I'll post those moon rover and the other thing I said. What was the other thing I said?
Your sleep.
No, I'm not posting that. We talk way too much about that. See ya.